You know, something epic, something cool. Keep on keeping on, man.
If you stay ready, we'll have to get ready.
Right. My last scene in Wilmington, like I was just trying to reschedule my flight.
First loves are important, but they're not as important as lasts.
I don't wanna look at anything else now that I saw you.
Okay, so it's coming to an end, guys. It's coming to an end. How sad, how tragic. It breaks my heart, it breaks the fans' heart, but I do want to ask a few questions about that saying goodbye moment.
Yeah.
If you could tell anything to your younger self that is about to take on this journey, this little man journey, what would it be?
Don't rush it, enjoy it, take it in.
Yeah.
You'll only do something for the first time once.
Yeah. I think being present. Be present.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry too much about tomorrow or outcome or expectations or, today has enough.
Nice.
I think just being present and really enjoying the moment and smell the roses.
Okay, this is kind of silly, but it's fun. So if you could tell us, like, there's something that goes on in this season that you want to leave, like, you think there's an Easter egg for people to look out for, or something you want people to look out for, what would it be? Like a little detail that you like, either it be a song, a set piece, a choice you made as an actor.
In the new
What should
season
be
or in general?
Yeah, in the new season. What should people be looking out for?
Oh man, that is a great question.
Well, it's hard. I will say it's hard because I haven't seen like final cuts always, so I don't know like
What they end up adding, what
right.
they
If
don't.
I tried to
yeah.
be funny, I don't know if that made it in. Okay, without saying anything, there is a scene that is the people in the scene. It's you and me and Lola. And we had a really hard time not laughing through it. So I'm curious if people can identify it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously gonna cut around it and we shot it until we weren't laughing. But
Yeah.
I'm curious to know without us saying.
I think there's a handful of scenes throughout the series that specifically at nighttime where it's late, we've been working a long time, there's emotional, and yeah, I'd be curious to see what people notice about specific nighttime scenes throughout the series, specifically one in season 3, because we had a blast. It was a good time.
Is there any mannerisms, quotes, ways to see the world that you have taken from the characters that you play that has stuck with you?
I think if I go back to like the earlier seasons and the choices that Conrad makes earlier in this show, it's a good reminder of how not to act sometimes. Not always. I mean, I'm not saying everything he did early is bad, but I think there's some lessons to be learned, maybe to discourage avoidance and confront your emotions and understand that you're a person. You don't have to be perfect.
Yeah, that's really good.
Thanks. Same thing for you.
I feel, I think in the first season there is still like a lot of innocence in Jeremiah, like just in his characters and in his youth, and there's so much innocence, and I think innocence is something that once it's lost you can't regain, and so I think that was probably like kind of just that optimism and that naivety, whatever, if that's the word, I don't know, but yeah, I think that would be my answer.
And if you could write a letter to your character at the end of the journey after all of this has happened, and we don't have to get into spoiler or anything, but like, what would you say to them at the end?
I don't know, it's just as much as there is finality in this arc of the story we're telling. Like these characters' lives are just getting started,
Yeah.
They're all still so young. And
Yeah.
Finality. That's a good. I like that.
Thanks, man.
That's a good one. I need to use that.
I did.
Yeah. I feel like. Just to remind them that they are still so young. There's so much things to like look forward to in life, and I think there's a pressure when you're in your 20s, even as a teenager, like getting ready to go to college, all these things, to have it figured out. And in reality, I think no one has it figured out. They just do a better job at winging it and just making decisions and running with it.
Yeah.
And more so, I heard this quote the other day of like, if I'm blanking on the quote, that's embarrassing, but pretty much it was like, stick with the plan, not your feelings. Like if you stick with your feelings, it'll go to and fro and you just don't know where to go. But if you have a plan, regardless of how you're feeling, you're gonna get through it. That's something I would use or say.
A big character of the show is just the music. The soundtrack is impeccable. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And if you could assign like a theme song for your character and the whole journey you have been through with them, which one would it be?
I'll leave the actual needle drops to Jenny, but for me, I would pick like something Radiohead, like motion picture soundtrack or something. You know, something epic, something cool.
I feel like you have really good like intro scenes, like when you walk into a scene, music is just like perfect for you. I'm gonna have to say, I think it's called "Being Friends" by Somber, SOMBR. It's kind of like popping off right now, but I was just thinking of that song and I was like, you know what, that's kind of a good vibe for the whole. Just the love triangle itself.
Is there any moment while filming this last season that you were like, oh my god, this is it, like it's over? Do you have a scene that you're recording or you were acting on or you were looking at that hit you really emotionally, like, oh my god guys, it's over? Or was it at the end?
I think there was sort of, I was waiting for that, you know, you sort of expect that.
Yeah.
But the way like so much of it moves like logistically, like my last scene in Wilmington, like I was just trying to reschedule my flight the whole time because there was like a big weather storm. Yeah. And it was just, I was shipping all these things to Sean's address in New York because he had to leave early. So there was just like, there was so many other things to deal with that it just sort of like fizzled. Like that's sort of the reality of the very end, is it just sort of fizzled.
Yeah, it just kind of disappears.
Yeah.
For me, I think the weirdest part about wrapping it all up was the summer house. Was like walking down the driveway to get in the van and then turning around being like, whoa, this was, it wasn't the last shooting day, but I think I wrapped like 5 days before the very end. I think it was Sean and Rain that had the last filming day, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that was kind of a weird moment for me. But then I also just hung out in Wilmington for like 2 weeks after that, just kind of kicking it and hanging out. And so it was a little strange, like a little bit of both feelings.
Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I cannot wait to watch the new season and for people to have it.